Welcome to Halftime Blues, a football show hosted by a money-hungry Chelsea fan and a plastic Man City fan.
We talk about the beautiful game with guests from all over the world.
Hey guys, welcome back to Halftime Blues. This is episode number 4.
It's number 4.
It's 4. 4 is also the position that Chelsea finished this season. But we'll get into that. My name is Sean. I'm a money-hungry Chelsea fan, and my co-host is a plastic Man City fan. His name is Josh.
Woo-hoo.
Say hello to the people.
What is up?
Good to hear you, Josh, and see you. If you can't see us, you're probably listening on a podcast. If you can, hello on YouTube. Good to see you. Well, we got a lot to talk about. Like, we want to do a season review, but before we get into that, if you like our content, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. It'll really help us get the word out. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Plug finished. You want to plug anything else, Josh, before we get started?
I'd like to say a shout out to my mom and my dad and my brother and my sister
So
and
sweet.
all the Man City fans out there.
All 4 of them. You guys must have felt at home. Like, I mean, not much changed.
From Project Restart. Yeah,
you lost all your fans. Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool. It's sorted.
Did we speak about that when they put the Zoom fans through the screen? Like, you guys couldn't even fill those up.
I hear this all the time.
It's true. There's pictures. There are pictures to prove it.
Yeah, I know. It was embarrassing. I mean, come on. But to be fair to them, they must have enlisted some new fans, because since the blunder on the first day, they've kind of made amends.
It's true. They have. Well, we're going to get straight into it. It's a season review. If you guys haven't heard yet, Liverpool have won the Premier League. The world is pretty much ending. Man City came second. Surprise, surprise. Man United came third, which you've probably also heard by now.
Definitely, you would have heard.
You would think they'd won the Champions League.
Yeah,
My
honestly.
word. And then Chelsea came fourth. We'll get into that, but I was very, very nervous going into that last week. But overall, I think it's actually the strongest 4 teams are in the top 4, to be honest. And it's going to be a good Champions League season next one.
Definitely. I think on paper, the top 4 was sort of expected, right? I think the anomaly there would have been Leicester. Don't get me wrong, they had a great season, but they really did crumble, and they don't have the squads that Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea and United have. So yeah. I think on paper the top 4 is predictable and what it should be.
Yeah, it's true. Well, let's get straight into it. So, season review. Let's start with Chelsea. Why not? Because I'm talking, so let's do it. First off, Chelsea's very first match. You remember that one?
No.
Chelsea versus Man United. They lost 4-0.
Now I
It was Frank
remember.
Lampard's very, very first match at Old Trafford. We probably had the worst possible start to the Premier League. I mean, we lost Eden Hazard. If you're new to football, like Chelsea finished third the previous season. They were in Champions League, and we lost Eden Hazard, our main star player. We had a transfer ban. We couldn't sign any players. A new coach, legend Frankie Lampard, coming in and taking over the reins. And horrible start. We lost to United. We drew to Leicester. We just beat Norwich. We drew to Sheffield United. We lost to Liverpool, and this was all before the end of September, so it was not a good start for us. I remember thinking, okay, cool, this is it. It's going to be one of those seasons. And in my mind, I was like, Chelsea are going to finish maybe 8th, 6th, between 8 and 6. And if we got into Europa League, which is finishing 5th or 6th position, I would have been really, really stoked with that. So finishing 4th was a really great surprise, and I'm actually very, very happy with Chelsea at the moment.
To be fair, in your bad start, dude, I thought you guys might sack Lampard. I was honestly like, oh no, he's had a really bad start. You guys don't really have the history of backing coaches for too long, and I was worried for him a little bit, but I'm glad you guys held on. He must have come into the club knowing obviously he's been there all his career. He must have come into the club actually and said to them, you know what, guys, you need to back me for a while. I need a lot of time to rebuild and to turn this team around, So fair play, they've backed him and you guys have finished off the season really well.
They have. It just shows you kids stay in school and stay off drugs and don't party and all that. Anyway, after that, we beat a bunch of mid-table clubs. We did pretty well. And then we lost to Josh's team, Manchester City. We lost 2-1. I remember N'Golo Kante scoring the first goal, and in my mind I was like, yes, Chelsea, we can do this, come on, we can beat City. And then good old Kevin De Bruyne and Mahrez just absolutely ran through our defense and just brought us back to reality, and I realized this was not going to be a fun season for us. You remember that match?
Yeah, 100%. I remember thinking when Kante scored, we've already, up until that point, we had already had a few bad results. So when Kante scored, I was like, this is one of those games where we just do not pitch up. But then, obviously, we had some good counter-attacks. De Bruyne's goal was a little lucky, to be honest. He hit it with his left foot. I think it deflected off someone. And your wonderful keeper didn't really do much to try and stop it. But anyway, De Bruyne scored. It was quite a soft goal, but then Mahrez, his goal was quite filthy actually.
No, it was.
He cut inside on his left and he just slotted it home.
Yep.
And then it was quite a close game. A 2-1 scoreline tells you that there was no winning it by a mile there. But I was a very happy chappy to have one over you.
But wasn't that game? I think we out-possessioned you basically. I think it was like one of the only teams to basically have more possession than City, I guess, in the whole season. Some ridiculous stat like that.
Wow. Well, I can tell you the stats right now. I'm looking at them. And basically, that's you 100% correct. You guys had 53.3%.
That's right.
And we had 46.7%.
Yeah.
Okay, we had 4 shots on target. You had 2. You had more touches, more passes. Yeah, very interesting actually. So we played a little bit of a counter-attacking game.
Yeah. I think there's some crazy stat, like it's the first time it's ever happened to Pep in the Premier League or something along those lines.
Sure.
Anyway, we did okay, even though we lost. And then what happened was, I remember we were sitting strong about halfway through the season. I remember there was a 10-point gap between the top 4 and the rest of the league, and it was like, okay, we've got this. Champions League is ours. And then Chelsea just do what they love to do. We lost to some awful clubs, and some surprising losses too. We lost to West Ham, which has happened twice.
Yeah.
We lost to Everton 3-1, Bournemouth 1-0, and those were 3 in a row. That West Ham loss, Everton loss, Bournemouth loss in a row. Then we lost to Southampton just after that. We drew with Brighton. We lost to Newcastle. Talking about mid-table clubs, we drew with Arsenal. And United did the double. United also did the double over us. It was just, and hey, I'm talking straight. Arsenal are a mid-table club at the moment, so totally. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just calling what it is right now. And I got lots of Arsenal friends, and they would say exactly the same thing. And I remember that gap just getting smaller and smaller, and thinking Chelsea are going to stuff this up, and it's just going to be absolutely terrible. And it was a lot of up and downs from there. We did the double over Spurs. We beat you guys in return, which was great. Another 2-1.
Yeah.
Pulisic scoring a goal. Kevin De Bruyne returning the favor, and then Fernandinho pulling a Diego Maradona and sticking his hand out.
He just kind of did it in the wrong century when there's like a million cameras watching everything in 240 frames a second slow-mo.
Exactly. And then I think Williams stepped up and smashed that penalty in, and we beat you guys, which is crazy because I feel like you guys have been on our case for the last few seasons.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we were actually, after De Bruyne scored that goal, we were all over you guys for quite a while. And then you kind of just countered us. Tammy Abraham caused some issues there, and obviously the handball and whatever. So kind of like opposite to the game where we won and you guys had more possession. We had more possession that game, and we were all over you guys, and then you got the result. It was very frustrating for me, but I'm sure you were stoked.
I was very stoked.
In fact, my WhatsApp messages can testify to that.
Can prove it. That's right. And then I think from there, just to wrap up our season, we beat some clubs, we lost to some. It was very much up and down for Chelsea this season. I think for me, the worst match possible, the one that hurt the most was recently we lost 3-2 to West Ham. I don't know if you saw that match. Yarmolenko came on right at the end and just basically outran our whole defense and slotted it in. And it was just a picture of like, I just remember thinking, come on, Chelsea, there's like no fight. You're on the cusp of getting into the Champions League. You need to beat a West Ham team. Even if you draw, it's okay. Like that 1 point would have saved us all of this like anxiety the last few weeks. We would have been safe. But they fell apart. The defense was weak. To me, that one hurt. And then we lost to Sheffield 3-0 after that. But that was that was like absolutely terrible. And but Sheffield were amazing. Sheffield were just incredible. And that's when I thought it was all over. I was like, that's it. Now we're definitely out. We lost to Liverpool too. We can talk a little bit about that. But we lost to them, which took us into the final match of the season, needing a draw. We needed to get 1 point against a very fiery Wolves team who they could take on any team in the league if they want to. But they didn't pitch up. I don't know if you probably wouldn't see our match because you were watching David Silva's last match for you guys. But Wolves they were tepid. They were like just
I'm surprised
weak.
by that.
Me too. It was a very, very strange. I don't know if there was like some shady deals in the background. They're like, we'll give you this point if you guys beat Arsenal so that we actually finish 7th and we still get into Europa League. Because if Chelsea do win FA Cup, because we've already finished in top 4, 7th position gets Europa.
Oh, wow.
And that's where Wolves currently sit. So very interesting if you're into conspiracy theories. But we did it. Chelsea crossed the line. I'm really stoked. I'm actually, bro, because at the beginning of the season, I did not think this was going to happen. Not at all.
Considering you're in the FA Cup final as well. That's a very, very good result. I mean, you can easily win a trophy and get top 4 with Frank Lampard's first season. It's very good.
Yeah, it is. It is. But quickly, before we do that Liverpool-Chelsea match.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I did, yeah.
Can you please tell me, as a City fan, please don't be biased towards me in any way, but do you think that second goal, do you think it was a free kick? When Trent Alexander scored that free kick.
Definitely not. And if you actually watch back, there's a video clip of the ref talking to Kovacic, and you can literally lip read him say, "You won the ball, but," and then you can't see any further.
And he turns it over.
He's basically saying, "You won the ball," and he still gives Liverpool a free kick. Now, I'm into conspiracy theories, bro. So the whole Wolves thing, somebody's getting some lekker cash, and you know what?
I think so.
I'm about to make a new conspiracy theory right now. That German potion does more than rejuvenate your muscles, bro.
Where are we going with this?
I think the sweat is rubbing off of those Liverpool players onto the ref during the game.
Yeah,
and it's tripping with his mind a bit. You know what I mean?
Dude, I don't know if listeners know what the German potion is, though.
Yeah, we mentioned it in a previous episode. Yeah, we did. We definitely did.
Well, for those who don't know what we're talking about, Jurgen Klopp basically gives his players a isotonic drink. I think that's what he calls it, after every match.
That apparently doesn't contain enhancing drugs.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. Because if you actually, I sent Sean a screenshot yesterday or this morning, and it was of Virgil van Dijk's Instagram he posted a picture on Instagram just saying a big thanks to all the physios and the medical staff at Liverpool, because he's played 38 games in the all 38 games in this season and last season in the Premier League for Liverpool. And I mean, come on, how is that possible? What is clapping there?
And especially Klopp's teams who press non-stop.
They are so physical and technical, and how has he not got hurt or or even got a knock where he has to, like, you know, sub or be on the bench or start on the bench for one game? Anyway, so I sent Sean the screenshot saying he's blessed to have his magic German potion. But what do you think of that conspiracy, dude? The sweat contains a little bit of the drugs. So it rubs off on the ref and makes him give fouls their way, even though they shouldn't be.
Totally. It's either that or the money, like in the back. It's one of the two.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. That's probably more realistic.
So apparently, clubs don't have any money left because of COVID. So
right. Okay,
Who
cool.
knows? Anyway, well, that's Chelsea's season. I'm a very, very, very happy Chelsea fan, as you can probably tell. Over to you. How's the City season for you?
You know, I came into this season not so optimistic. I was a bit more realistic about my approach. You know, coming off of the 2 Premier League titles in a row. I mean, the first title that we won in 2017-18 with Pep. We obviously got to 100 points. We also won the League Cup that year. We didn't win the FA Cup and obviously not the Champions League. And then that crazy title race with Liverpool last season. You know, where we beat them by 1 point, and we had to win like our last 14 games in a row, you know, to be able to win that season. Like, that's an unbelievable achievement. I just thought that we were going to have a little bit of complacency. And so I worried that I just thought it would be way tougher, and I thought that we would have a bit of a tough time, and I thought certain players would look tired and a bit out of place, and, you know, it's typical of a team who reaches such success, you know, to hit a bit of a dip. And in fairness, that dip came. I mean, if I look at the results, so obviously, first game, 5-0 City versus West Ham. Cool. Everything's looking Gucci. Then the following week we play Spurs. Now, dude, this game was probably one of the most frustrating games I've ever seen in my life, because we get a last minute winner. Okay. But this is where that stupid new handball rule came into effect. Basically, somebody whipped it in, and Jan Vertonghen tried to header the ball away. But Laporte tried to header the ball into the goal. So they're both like eyes closed, going at the ball. And the ball bounces off Jan Vertonghen's forearm onto Laporte's forearm, but like slightly brushes both of their arms. In fairness, it slightly brushes both of their arms and kind of just like falls through the cracks, lands at Gabriel Jesus' feet, and then he just slots it home. So we celebrate like crazies, and none other than VAR comes and rules it out. And the rule is, if it hits an attacking player's arm, there's no goal. If it hits a defender's arm, it's nothing. No penalty. So it rules out a goal for us, kills the sport in a way, kills that amazing last minute winner. But then there's no repercussions for the defender who's just handballed it as well. And in fact, the reason why it was a handball on us is because it first came off of his hand onto our hand. So, I mean, the logic there, I was livid, bro. So anyway, I'm thinking, cool, it's fine. It's a draw. We'll move on. We beat Bournemouth 3-1, Brighton 4-0, and then probably one of the biggest shocks of the season, we lose to Norwich 3-2.
Oh, I remember that.
We were so flat, and I just thought, geez, like, the cracks are starting to show. That 2-2 with with Tottenham, and now this 3-2 loss with Norwich. Okay, cool. This is probably what our season's going to be, a little bit up and down, and it was. I mean, we lost to Norwich, and the week after we banged 8 past Watford, beat them 8-0.
Yeah.
I mean, that's look at those two results right after the other. That's just craziness.
For sure.
Beat Everton 3-1, then we lost to Wolves 2-0. So,
sounds like an Arsenal run of form, man.
Totally. And so then we beat Palace, Villa, Southampton, lost to Liverpool, obviously. Obviously, Liverpool probably took 3 or 4 shots and banged them all in. Fabinho scored this absolute rocket from outside of the box. We beat you guys. Then we played Newcastle, another 2-2 draw. Do you remember when De Bruyne, a rebounded header, he ran at the ball, chested it down, and like volleyed it into the top bins? Do you remember that goal? It's probably the most ridiculous goal I've ever seen him score. And by the way, he didn't win goal of the season. He should have.
Oh, did they announce that?
They announced it. I can't remember.
I didn't see. Who won it?
I can't remember who it went to.
Sorry, who from Liverpool won it?
I can't remember who won it, but that goal came third, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, there's not going to be a better goal this season.
I must actually go look at that.
Yeah, let's check it out. Anyway, then we beat Burnley, and then we lost to Man United at the Etihad. And then we smashed Arsenal, smashed Leicester, and then we lost to Wolves again. Then we beat Sheffield United, Everton, Villa.
Hey, Wolves did the double over you guys.
Wolves did the double over us. They were the first team to do the double over us, or against Pep.
Chelsea did it.
No, against the Pep team in the league.
Didn't Conte do it?
Oh, sorry. They might have been... maybe I'm getting mixed up, but there was some stat with them in doing the double over us. Anyway.
Well, I know we were the first.
Okay, take it, Sean. Take it.
You never forget your first.
Take the credit, mate. Then we drew to Crystal Palace. We beat Sheffield. We lost 2-0 to Spurs. We beat United. So look at Man United did the double over us as well. We lost to them again.
Oh, they did.
Then we smashed Arsenal again 3-0. So we did the double over Arsenal. Lost to Man United twice. I mean, it was just an unreal up and down season.
Yeah.
And then, to be fair, after Project Restart, we had a whale of a time.
You did, except against us.
Except against you guys, but everything else was just beautiful. I'm talking...
My favorite being the 4-0 thumping of the English champions, Liverpool.
What a lovely time. Then we smashed 5
Probably my favorite game.
We smashed 5 past Newcastle, 5 past Brighton, 4 past Watford, and 5 past Norwich on the weekend. How unreal. We literally got to 100 goals at the end of the season.
Yeah,
Again. And let's just talk about this weekend quickly.
Yeah.
That Kevin De Bruyne goal, that first goal.
I did see that.
So saucy, dude. So
saucy. Amazing.
He's a freak.
He is. He kind of looks like... You know Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
Don't you think if... He kind of looks like a thin version of him? Maybe like a distant cousin or something.
Listen, I'm feeling offended for De Bruyne.
Offended? Why?
Because what kind of insult is
that?
Because
I compared him to Brock.
For those who don't know,
every time I see the guy, he's just like a mini Brock.
For those who don't know, Sean is a huge WWE fan. It's the weirdest thing. Honestly, it's like...
Shaka, I am.
It's the weirdest thing that you're into. Like,
absolutely love it.
It just doesn't make sense. Like everything else in your life.
Makes total sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense, bro.
Makes total sense.
You are not a wrestling kind of guy. That's not the impression you give people.
I actually think we should incorporate wrestling more into this podcast somehow. I'm sure people would enjoy that.
I'm about to send you my resignation letter.
Well, let us know what you think in the comments.
Guys, please. Do your Plastic City fan a favor. Come on. Don't write anything positive about that.
So what about this weekend? You're talking about...
I was talking about the Ginger Ninja.
It was good. I won't lie. Brock Jr. scored a good goal.
Do you know what? If you actually watch the whole game, we were playing probably the best football I've ever seen us play. Now, granted, it's against a Norwich. So this is why we're playing the best football, because it's against a relegated Norwich. So
and they're finished.
At our stadium, which we've been good at all season, and. Dude, some of the passes, some of the moves. Their goalkeeper, Tim Krul, he had a blinder.
Yeah.
Even though we won 5-0, he had an absolute blinder. He stopped so many goals. It should have been like 12-0. We were playing the most ridiculous. I'm not even making this up. We were playing the most ridiculous passing football I've ever seen. It was unbelievable.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool to see.
I'm sure Pep was stoked.
But no, to be fair, it's just against a crap team though. So, it's actually to be expected.
It's true. Didn't they beat Liverpool though? They did.
No, it was Watford.
Was it Watford?
Yeah, Watford.
It was Watford. They stopped their run. Huh?
Absolute beautiful people, those
Champions.
Watford people.
I think they should have, Watford should have been given just a pass to stay up because of that.
Yeah.
And not get relegated this season. I think it's owed to them.
They should have given them one of those Cadbury's awards. But before I finish on City's season, even though we've had an up and down season in the Premier League, we still came second. Still got some really good results. We still played some really good football. And I think with a few changes,
the cup?
That's true. We beat you guys at the good old
Carabao Cup,
the best trophy in England.
According to
probably Pep, to be honest, we win it every year.
No, Jose. Jose loves that cup. It's his favorite cup.
Jose, don't even get me started on that, prawn. So we won that. But you know what? With the squad, I think with a few fresh legs next season, I think we'll be challenging again. I think hasn't been a bad season.
Definitely.
I think the rest of the league was really bad, and I think Pep's going to really want to come back for his Premier League title. And then let's not forget that we're still in the Champions League. Okay, we got smashed by Arsenal in the FA Cup just last weekend. We'll talk about that. But we're still in the Champions League, and we've beaten Real Madrid 2-1 in the first leg. So let's see what happens there.
Yeah.
It might still be a good season, so I'm not too disappointed in it yet.
Okay, before we get into FA Cup, I want to talk about Man United just for a second.
Did you hear about the new record they broke?
With the amount of penalties in a season.
Yeah, what a bunch of prawns.
It's just crazy. But you know what I realized today is that I've actually in the last few years, okay, at the moment, I'll be honest, I've got not a hatred, but just this irritation towards Liverpool fans, right? And it's just because of the way they are and the way that they go on and yada, yada, yada. And I feel like United fans are always like that. And just the last few years, I've begun to be okay with them. And I realized it's because they haven't been challenging for much recently.
Yeah.
So they've actually been really quiet. That's all. They've just literally gone into hiding.
That's true.
They've been hibernating for years. And it's been is Liverpool for the last while. And until yesterday, when they finished third and got into the Champions League, and it's as if they've won the actual Champions League. Like, my word, you would think they've won it the way that they go on and on and on about just how amazing they are and how they're going to sign Sancho, and I'm like, oh my gosh, kill me. And I just realized United fans, to me, Man U fans and Liverpool fans are one and the same, and I just can't stand them.
Do you know what? I saw some sort of stat or tweets or something on social media the other day where it says, since Bruno Fernandes has joined Man United, we've won this many points, and if he was here at the beginning of the season, we would have won the league. And I'm like, oh dude,
God.
You can't make these hypothetical facts about if you had that player at the beginning of the season. I mean, that is such a typical United and Liverpool thing to do, to be fair.
Totally.
We just despise that color red, don't we?
No, we totally do. And I'm sure they would say the same of us, but I'm like, in all seriousness, to be given that many penalties, and a lot of those were some seriously dodgy calls.
Oh, it's such dodgy calls.
Seriously dodgy. Not even just that's borderline. It was what are you doing? How do you not see that? And they had an easy fixture list leading right up to the end. Like the last 6 weeks or so, it was so easy, and they nearly stuffed it up.
Yeah,
they managed to like have their fate in their own hands on the final day when they could have done it 4 weeks previous.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then they still go on and on about, we're ahead of Chelsea, blah 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 blah. I'm like, Frank Lampard lost Eden Hazard, had a transfer ban, promoted youth academy players, like basically half the team that he's promoted. He hasn't had a chance. This is his first season managing Chelsea, and he basically finished on the same amount of points as you guys. The only reason you're ahead is on goal difference. I'm like, it makes no sense.
Yeah,
absolutely no sense. I'm like,
let's talk
over them.
Let's talk about that. While we're talking about the red teams we don't like, I sent this tweet to Sean the other day. So City's Twitter, the official club Twitter page, goes and says, congratulations to LFC on winning the Premier League. That's it. We just said congratulations to Liverpool for winning the Premier League.
That's very nice.
And the Liverpool Echo, writes this article title, Salty Manchester City saying congratulations, message in suspect Liverpool snub.
That's a headline if I ever heard one.
Have you ever heard of a more clickbaity? So like they use the word salty, but actually they're just describing their title.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable, and that's how these people think. They take a positive out of something like that and they turn it into a negative for us. And by the way, when we beat them to the season last year by that 1 point, guess who didn't say a word of congratulations to us? Liverpool Football Club. There's no mention of them saying anything.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
How freaking ironic is that?
Well, did you see the bust up between Frank Lampard and the Liverpool bench?
I loved it.
When we played against it. Oh man, Frank just put them in their place.
In his post-match interview, he
great.
Absolutely tuned them. He just said it like it is. He said it so well. Like, well done. They've won the Premier League and whatever, but they don't need to get so arrogant about it. You know?
Yeah. And the thing with Klopp is his response was, okay, but Frank needs to learn to finish it. Basically, he needs to learn to not keep talking after the match. That's basically what Klopp was saying, which he said after a match. And that's rich coming from a guy who gets up in referees' faces and literally, like, as if he wants to punch them, is the most, like, immature child when it comes to losing matches, throws his toys out the cot. I'm like, yeah, bro, just stop being such a dang hypocrite,
salty
like idiot.
Salty Klopper.
Jeez. Well, in fairness, it wasn't directed to Klopp. It was to the assistant on the bench who was apparently chirping Frank and speaking over Frank the whole match. And it actually got to like boiling point when he said something. Frank didn't say what, but he said something. He was like smirking the whole time. It's like really essentially like arrogant comments. And if you know Frank Lampard, I'm like, even in his playing career, like, okay, once every now and again he would like get, but he is very like just a generally calm dude.
Yeah. So
it feels like it takes a lot to like.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro. Like, man, and he just ripped into the sky. It's just beautiful. You should go watch it on Twitter.
With those Klopp remarks, I'm more sort of like the reason why I bring it up is because he protected, or he came up with excuses for the whole thing.
Defensive. He got defensive.
He got defensive. And I'm sorry, but the manager, he's in charge of all those assistant coaches. He's responsible for their behavior. You know, there's no excuses for that. You know, if anything, he should have said, yeah, you know what, maybe we're a little bit out of line, and apologies to Frank. You know, these things happen because everybody gets heated, guys. There's passion in football, and that's why we love it. But don't act like, you know, like you did nothing wrong, and it frustrates me.
So, Liverpool, do you think they will retain the title?
I really hope we make some good acquisitions. Do you know what? If I'm going with my heart, I think that we'll win it back from them.
Yeah.
If I know how eager Pep is to, if it's true, if my feeling's right, and my gut feeling is that Pep's going to be so eager to get it back. And with the CAS decision, we don't have any bans. We're not really exactly going to hide the fact that we've got money. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get some good defenders, maybe a good winger, and I think we'll challenge them again.
I think this this window is going to be super important, and obviously COVID's going to affect that. So I think clubs are going to have to buy with their brains rather than just with their pockets, spending on whoever they can.
Yeah.
And make some really smart buys. So if you guys get some really solid buys, I think you'll definitely do it, because I also think just seeing Liverpool finish off their season, and it might be a motivation thing, but I feel like a lot of teams are starting to work them out.
Definitely.
Not completely, but you just see them they don't have that shine. But that might be because of end of season.
Look at it this way.
Yeah.
We had those 2 seasons where we won the league, but Liverpool were on our tail the second time round. Okay?
Yeah.
So they've also had a very intense season before this one that's just passed. They any other season, they would have won it with those 97 points.
Oh, totally.
So it's almost like they put the energy in and they performed as if they had won a league, and so now they've gone and won the league and got 2 points more than they did last season. But you're right. I think people are starting to work them out. That's why I think our reign didn't work last either. People do work you out. Your players do lose motivation, or they get tired, or they lose a little bit of that focus. And that's why it's good to change things up a little bit, to bring in fresh legs, to make the positions quite competitive, just to bring a little bit of change as well. I mean, yes, a manager will keep his philosophies, but a different player has got different styles. He's got different ways of doing things on the pitch. You know what I mean? There's different flavors within a game. The Pep team with Barcelona and Man City are completely different teams. They play different styles. It's still the same philosophy, but the goals don't look the same. The way that we play isn't the same because it's different people. And I think Liverpool are gonna struggle a little bit more next season. I don't see them. I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't see them dominating like they did this season. I think we will strengthen. I think you guys will have a much better season, less inconsistencies, especially with those acquisitions.
Yep.
And I don't think Man United are going to challenge, to be fair. I think Bruno Fernandes will make them a bit better. I just don't see them challenging. I don't know what it is, but they just... Since Ferguson, I just can't see them being title challengers. I always just see them being around the sort of top 5,
Yeah. Well, we can only hope. And I think I agree with you, bro, on all of that. That's also kind of what... I got the same feelings. And I really hope it happens. I honestly think you guys have a chance at winning it next season. And it's really hard to defend the Prem. I mean, you guys are the first team to do it in a decade.
Yeah.
So... It doesn't happen. So it'll be very, very hard for Liverpool to do. But who knows? I think it'll still be City, Liverpool, and probably maybe Chelsea.
I'd say the biggest or the shout out there to the up and coming team would be Chelsea. The one that we don't suspect, I would say, is you guys, because I think you guys have made really good buys, and Lampard's doing a great job. I think if you can just sort out your defensive issues, which we're also going to try and do, then you guys will be good. Well, let's just talk about transfers quickly on the Man City front. So it's been spicing up a lot lately. Apparently, we've agreed a 70 million euro fee for Koulibaly.
Oh, nice.
Apparently we've sort of, it's not like I don't think we've put the the bid in yet, but apparently we've been negotiating with them, and that's sort of the region that they would be happy to take. And a sort of new one in the last couple of weeks that's come onto the radar is Ferran Torres from Valencia. Apparently an amazing winger. And apparently we're going to get him for around 35 mil, which is quite a steal.
Wow. It is.
I think he's only got a year left on his contract, and so they don't want to risk losing him for nothing at the end of next season. So they'd rather get something out of it, which is fair enough. And then the very surprising one as well is that apparently now that Bournemouth have gone down, we're very interested in Nathan Ake as a sort of
I've seen that.
third sort of backup centre back for Koulibaly and Laporte, because there's a lot of rumours of John Stones going to Arsenal and working with Mikel Arteta, who's obviously very familiar with him. So very interesting. A lot of centre-back movements or defensive movements there. And then lastly, apparently we are keen on a left-back. There's quite a few names, though, that have been thrown out with regards to the left-back. So all of those things delight me because those are all the places where we've really struggled. But speaking of left back, have you seen how good João Cancelo's been for us in the last 2 or 3 games? Jeez,
I haven't, because I haven't been watching.
For a right back, playing in the left back position, he's been our standout performer in the last 2 games. It's been unbelievable. Apparently Pep's really happy with him now. I think there was a bit of an attitude issue.
Yeah, I was going to say, he wasn't playing for a long time.
He came in as a new signing and he barely played. And I think there was a bit of an attitude problem. And Pep said something in the press conference the other day. He said, no, we're on the same wavelength now. I'm really happy with João. He's getting along with everyone. I think there was a bit of an attitude problem or a settling in problem. A very interesting one, because for a while I was like, why would you spend so much money on this right back and ditch him? It looks like he wants to leave, you know? But I think there was just a mindset shift that needed to happen, and he's playing left back for us and he's killing it. I hope he starts against Real Madrid because he's been really, really good.
Okay, well, FA Cup's coming up this weekend. Who do you think's taking it?
Oh, dude, I really hope you guys win it. I really hope you guys win it. Like, as much as I don't like Chelsea, I'm not a fan of Chelsea. You guys, like, you know me. I've always not been like, I don't get bummed about your guys' success. It doesn't irritate me like the Man United successes and the Liverpool successes do, because, well, your fans just aren't irritating. It's as simple as that, really. And I don't mind if you guys win. I mean, yeah, it's just much better if you guys win. So please do us all a favor. Frankie, do your tang, man.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, it's on Saturday, so what's your prediction?
I'm going to say 3-1 to Chelsea. I'm going to say 3-1 to Chelsea, and I'm going to say that Bruno Fernandes is going to do one of his gay little penalty kicks for the one goal that United. Bruno Fernandes.
No, it's Arsenal. FA Cup.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm losing my mind. The whole time
we played United in the semis. Remember the big semi? We spoke about the big semi last week, remember?
Ah, dude, the whole time I'm thinking...
How could you forget the big semi?
Sorry, guys, that's a lach.
Yeah, well, we beat them.
We'll keep this in.
Thumped them. It was great.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, dude, let's just leave that in so people can see.
No one's perfect, guys. We're all human.
Yeah. So kids, don't do drugs, stay in school, and no one's perfect. We're playing Arsenal.
Well, that changes everything.
Which makes it a different story. That changes Arsenal everything. Flippin' love winning an FA Cup.
They love a cheeky FA Cup. It's like their go-to thing. It's all they're proud of, really. Yeah.
Totally. So I'm actually terribly nervous, to be honest. I'm like, I think we're probably slightly the favourites. I don't know if that's right. In my mind, I feel like we are, but I actually don't think we're going to win.
On paper, you're the favourites, but I think if you go with like history and what it means to them, Arsenal, I guess, are the favourites in that regard. That's going to be an interesting game. I'm really struggling to call this. I think it'll be very tight. I almost think that it might even go to like extra time.
Could. Really could. I'm hoping for another Frank masterclass there, though.
To be fair to
Arteta, it'd just be great to win it.
he's played some good games recently, and he's got some.
He recently
good
they've
results.
been doing well.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. They're doing well. I'm a bit nervous. I won't lie.
Yeah. David Luiz has actually stopped crosses for once.
It's true. Well, that whistle is extra time. I don't have much to talk about in extra time, but I just know one thing. You're talking about transfers earlier, and at Chelsea, very, very hot. The deals in the background for Kai Havertz, which would be a huge signing. I don't know if you've
I've
heard about this guy.
I've even seen highlights of him the other day, dude. He looks incredible.
It's ridiculous. So, and I think it is all testament to Frank Lampard and Petr Cech. Like, I think they are working wonders in the background.
Definitely.
And it shows you the pulling power. Apparently, from some legit journalists, like Kai Havertz, a really personal agreement has been made, and he's super keen to work with Frank. Yeah, he wants to work with Frank. That's why he chose. Just shows cool. You like having some.
He obviously looked up to Frank as a kid.
Totally. And I thought about it. I'm like, Chelsea won Champions League in 2012. He was, 21 now? So what's that, like 8 years ago? So he was like a young teenager.
Yeah.
That makes a huge impact. You're like, whoa.
And didn't you win it against...
you see him as a superstar.
Didn't you win it against
Bayern Munich?
Yeah, which means... And he's German, isn't he?
Totally, yeah. So, I mean, he's probably really invested in that. So, yeah, pretty cool. I'm like, if we get that, I think like our attack would be next level. We need to sort our defense out, though.
Yeah, why are you linked with so many attackers? You should be linked with defenders, in my opinion.
Apparently, they are in the background. They've got all this stuff. It's Frank's plan. He's like, you can't pass up on a player like Kai. That's why they're going full out for it now, getting it done, and already in the background. So there's plans left back. There's a guy, obviously Ben Chilwell. We still want to go after Leicester, push their price up, but now that they're not in Champions League, it might come down. So it looks like we might go back there. If not, it looks like Tagliafico from Ajax could be someone who go after.
You guys want Otamendi?
And then.
I mean, he's a Premier League.
No thanks.
He's a 2-time Premier League champion, bro.
No, it's fine. No, it's cool. I'll pass on that one. Maybe United will take him.
If he goes to United, that'd be a dick move, eh?
No, it would be. But speaking of dick moves, City players essentially moving to United. Sancho, I've seen in the doing the rounds that he might go to United. Former Man City academy.
He's not gonna, dude. He's not gonna be loyal to City. Tell you that much.
No, he won't.
He won't. So if he goes to United, he goes to United. Honestly, I'm not even too scared by that, because everyone who's a good player goes to United and they kind of become worse. So bring it on. Go to United then, bro. Go to United then. Look at what happened to Alexis Sanchez. Look at what happened to Angel Di Maria. Look what happened to Pogba.
Yeah.
Look what happened to... Oh, dude, come now.
It is Sancho, though. He is good.
No, he's very, very
World
good.
class.
Don't get me wrong, but I think... I just struggle to see them getting that momentum, getting that style of play, getting that spark back. They just... Yeah, they've had some good, run of results lately, but then they go and... absolutely
they go through a bad run of results,
rinse it against you guys, so like and you guys haven't exactly had a stellar season, so I just don't go to United. Sancho, it's all good, mate.
Oh yeah. And then lastly, something fun I want to ask you, Josh. So I was thinking about there's a lot of we were talking about it. Actually, did we talk about it in our podcast? I think we've got extra content. We were talking about clubs that get liquidated or go into administration. I think we had a Newcastle podcast that we chatted about, and which we might just release for extra content. But I want to ask you this. If your club went into administration, like City would ever do that. But let's say that they got relegated or they went into administration, they got liquidated, let's say, like they were finished tomorrow. No more City. And you had to support, like legitimately, you had to support any other team in the Premier League. Who would it be and why?
That's a crazy question.
Boom, I know. It is.
Can I be brutally honest with you?
You can. That's what we're all about.
Would have to be Manchester United or Liverpool.
Oh my gosh, Josh, what is wrong with you?
No, I'm joking. Not a chance,
Okay,
mate.
good.
Not a chance. No, I'd rather stick my dick in a meat grinder.
Yeah, jeez, that would. Oh, wow, the thought. Ow.
Who I'm not trying to suck up to you, but I'd probably support Chelsea. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day when I was getting into footy, and
that's when I tried to convert you.
You were trying to convert me to Chelsea, and I considered it for a hot minute.
1 minute.
But then I remembered my roots and being in England and supporting Man City during a derby because they were the underdogs and whatever. So Man City's the one I need to support. I know it feels right, but like you said, if I had to jump ship and be a more plastic fan than I already am, then I'd probably support Chelsea. And plus, it's just a little bit of a darker blue. I mean, mate, it all works.
Keeping it blue.
Yeah, keeping it blue, dude. I like blue. I don't like red. It's an angry color.
Yeah.
And you?
I'd actually, surprise, would probably have to say City, to be honest.
Nice.
And for similar things. And to me, it just comes down to like the fans. Just like play good football. They do really well. Like they got just good ambitions.
It's a well-run club.
Yeah, exactly. They like a little shady oil deal on the side. They like to sign some underage players,
which is very similar to Chelsea. I mean,
exactly,
we're kind of similar clubs.
Fit right in there.
Yeah, totally.
And I mean, it's what happened when City came along. All the plastic Chelsea fans moved across, and when City liquidates, all the plastic City fans will move back. So, it just makes sense.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of suck asses here. Hey?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. Two suck asses talking about their clubs. Yeah. Oh, awesome. But I mean, that's all the time we got. All the time we got time for?
No. Sean, don't do this to me. Don't do this to your brother, bro.
Extra time.
Extra time. Yeah. It's the 121th minute.
Plus one.
121th. I mean, whatever. What even is that word?
Yeah.
One thing I got to mention is we've got to give a little shout out. I know I really bigged up KDB earlier. Actually, I want to give 2 shout outs here. No, 3.
Yeah.
I want to give 3 shout outs.
To your mom. Okay, yeah.
I want to hold up the "Told You So" banner to all those salty Liverpool fans when Raheem Sterling came to City and they said he was so crap and he can't finish and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? On the weekend he scored his 20th Premier League goal and I think his 30th goal for the season, and he's not done yet. We've still got Champions League. So 30 goals, that's pretty damn good, bro. And he scored some really good finishes. They're not just tap-ins. He scored some good shots out of the box. So big up to Raheem Sterling. Secondly, go away if you're a Liverpool fan and you think that your Brazilian goalkeeper is better than mine, because mine just won the Golden Glove.
Golden Glove.
So suck it. Edison is better than Alisson. Okay? Just deal with it. And thirdly, De Bruyne equaled Thierry Henry's assist record of 20 assists in a season. Let's go, boy. No one has been able to match that for how long now? It's been quite a while, eh?
Yeah. No.
So
2003, 2004 was the year that it happened. So
Henderson goes and gets the Football Writers Association Player of the Year award. And then literally De Bruyne comes out firing and bangs 2 goals into the corner of the net and gets another assist to equal Thierry Henry's record, just to rub it in the face of whoever those prawns are who decide these stupid awards. How do you justify that? How do you justify that? Okay, that's all I needed to say. I just need to set the record straight on a few things in extra time. Yeah, thank you very much for your time. Thank you, my dear friend Sean, for letting me do that.
Anytime. And a big. Well, now that's extra time done. That's full-time whistle. Ref is pushing Josh off the field because it's enough. But that's it. If you love this episode, if you like what we're doing, please give us a like, a subscribe, a share. We greatly appreciate it.
Also, if you think we're a bunch of prawns, let us know in the comments. Doesn't matter.
I'll tell you.
We want to hear.
We're not afraid of you.
Yeah.
We'll hit you back with some like salty gif or something like that.
Yeah.
It'd be great. Do it.
Sweet
Just do it.
dudes.
Cool.
Keep well and peace.
Peace out.